Hello and welcome to the Everything Is Black and White podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. Andrew Musgrove here. Do me a favour, hit subscribe on the channel and give this video a thumbs up. We're going to talk all about Jose Mourinho. You've probably seen that he's been sacked as ASS Roma manager this morning after 2.5 years in charge. He won the Europa Conference League a couple of years back, but currently find Roma 9th in Serie A, 22 points off the top and dumped out of the cup by rivals Lazio. That did not go down well. They've only won one in their last 6. Mourinho has been shown the door. Now, from a Newcastle point of view, it doesn't take you very long to be pushing Mourinho towards the Newcastle United job. This isn't just today, this has been in the last weeks, months. In fact, it's really never gone away since the takeover. And now giving Newcastle on a horrible run of form, 8 defeats in the last 10, that has ramped up slightly from certain sections of the fan base, especially on social media. I'm not sure at all that there's a flavour to bring Mourinho in. There's not even a flavour to get rid of Howe away from social media. And to be fair, the majority of people on social media are backing Howe 100%. And that's important. That's key to the whole discussion here, because for Mourinho to go in, Eddie Howe has to be under immense pressure, i.e. lose the next game, he loses his job. He's not under that amount of pressure. Look, things are not going well, but he's got the backing of the owners, he's got the backing of the fans. The fact they've got this horrible run of injuries protects them somewhat from the form. The fact they can't go out and spend tens of millions of pounds to help build the squad also insulates them from what has been a terrible 6 weeks for Eddie Howe. But look, he's going to turn this around. Players are going to return from injury. He's going to add hopefully 1 or 2 in this window, whether it be on loan or free, what have you. But I think once players start coming back to the fold, Newcastle will turn their form around and will finish the season really strongly. I think Eddie Howe will be Newcastle manager for a long time to come. So in a way, this discussion is utterly pointless. However, it is a discussion being had on social media. Jose Mourinho, Newcastle United manager, not a chance. Even if Eddie Howe was under pressure, even if Eddie Howe had to win his next game and keep his job, I would not want Mourinho anywhere near Newcastle United. Look, he has won nearly everything in the game. He is, I think, the 5th most decorated manager in world football. Brilliant. But he's not the Mourinho of old. I think the magic of Mourinho, that sparkle, it's not there anymore. And the other thing as well, any club he goes to, it is all about him. It is all about Jose Mourinho. It's not about the club. Right now, Newcastle have got a manager who puts the club first. He works his hardest to make sure the club is the best it can be. There's no drama, there's no chaos. With Mourinho, it just follows him around like a bad smell. And you know, as soon as he comes into Newcastle United, it's all about him. Maybe that's the ego he carries with him. Maybe that's the reputation he's built. Some might argue it goes hand in hand with success. Well, for me, if Eddie Howe was going out the door, I'd want to find someone who just puts the club first. The club is the most important thing. No one is bigger than the club. But it seems every job Mourinho goes into, he acts like he's bigger than the club. You know, Man United, Tottenham, Roma. The jobs have not gone well for him at all. And I put that comment out on Twitter about it being all about him. And a few Spurs fans got in touch to say they agreed. You don't want that ego running wild. I think that's what gives Eddie Howe the edge. He's not a man who, lets him get ahead of himself. I mean, look, he won the derby a couple of weeks ago. Certain managers would have been expecting statues and flags flying off buildings in Newcastle, but he's straight back to work. He knows he's got to turn this around. And even when things are going well, it's not about him. It's about the staff. It's about the squad. It's about the team. It's about the club as a whole. With Mourinho, it is all about him. And that's why you don't want him. He's a winner, some would say. Fair enough, but look what's happened at Roma. Conference League. I know we would take it at Newcastle, but if you're Mourinho, surely you've got into that job expecting more than just the Conference League. Spurs, title challengers, nope, not the Mourinho. Man United didn't go well at all. So I don't think he's the manager he once was. Let me know in the comments what you think. Would you take Mourinho at Newcastle? Would you want Mourinho to replace Eddie Howe? Nah, I'm telling you, not for me at all. We know the story, the affection he's got for the club because of Sir Bobby Robson, his interpreter at the clubs that he managed over in Portugal, then of course Barcelona, then became a coach and did go on to win and become one of the best coaches the world of football has ever seen. But I think that ship has sailed. A few years ago, you would have snapped your hand off under Mike Ashley when you would have just taken any single positive. But this is different. This is a different Newcastle United. Eddie Howe was really building something special. It might not be going perfectly at the moment, but give it time. I think you'll see Eddie Howe here for years to come and become a really successful manager in his own right. And the talk has all been about where Mourinho will end up next. I don't think Newcastle is a realistic option at all. Funny though, he'll probably end up in Saudi Arabia. He's talked about that previously. Obviously, managers get paid a fair whack over there. It's a very lucrative deal to take up if offered. And you suspect with Saudi Arabia trying to build their reputation, their profile in world football, Mourinho would be the perfect draw. And Saudi Arabia would probably be the perfect draw for Mourinho. He can go over, he'd probably become the best manager over there. He'd probably turn whatever team he gets appointed to into a proper success. And the standard isn't great. And he gets paid loads of money. And he's in a job, keeps working. That's where I think he'll end up, Saudi Arabia. And then inevitably, if he ends up in Saudi Arabia at a club owned by the Public Investment Fund, that will just accelerate the rumours that if things get worse already, how Mourinho will be waiting in the wings, and we'll just have to be sitting here going round in circles, shaking our head, thinking, goodness me, when will it end? I think he'll end up in Saudi Arabia. I do not think, though, if he does end up in Saudi, that he'll then end up in Newcastle United. Just not happening. Not for me. Let me know in the comments what you think. Jose Mourinho at Newcastle United? I hope not. I bloody hope not. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. I've been Andrew Musgrove. We'll see you guys very soon.